One of the best open world indie games just dropped its biggest update yet. In this voxel-based world where you can terraform anything, they've just added water to the mix, and the results are both hilarious and amazing.
But why did you lock us in here?
This update just put this open world survival game into my top 5 indie games of all time. It went from a you should try this game to you must try this game. This game brought all of my favorite survival elements, mixed in with some Souls-like combat, a beautiful open world, a glider, and perhaps the best base building of any game ever. Oh yeah, and it did that with 16-player co-op, and when I thought they couldn't improve this game anymore, they added something I literally thought was impossible.
I need to pee.
That's it. One more word out of you guys and I will open that door. And may I remind you that we are 100 feet below sea level. Between you and me, I'm gonna open that door before the video ends anyway. Thank you all for joining me here today to hear about this update. This update added water. And yeah, that's cool and all, because now you can fish and you can explore underwater, but that's just the tip of the iceberg here. Adding water to a voxel-based world is insane. Not only can you use it to keep your survivors in line, you can carve out the shoreline to make a river. You can create irrigation for your crops. You can create drainage systems to hold back the sea, like Moses. Or you can create a base on the sea floor, like I did here. So stick around as we try to break this game's brand new water physics. At launch, Enshrouded was incredibly well received, peaking at over 160,000 concurrent players on Steam, while earning the coveted very positive rating. That was before these massive additions to the game. If we put this in DBZ terms, at launch, Enshrouded was like Goku hitting Super Saiyan for the first time. But with this last update, it's like Goku True Instinct.
What's a DBZ?
Who said that? So when Keen Games told me about this new update and asked me to come check back in on it, as someone who thoroughly enjoyed the initial release, I didn't hesitate. Before we dive into how insane all of this water stuff is, pun intended, let's touch on the other big changes that came with this patch, because that's not all they did. And just quickly glancing ahead at my list here, I'm so jealous of all the players who are going to be diving into this game for the first time with all of these new features. And as always, don't just take my word for it. You can click the link in the description to see what other people are saying on the Steam reviews for yourself. So the first big change for those of you returning to the game is loot has been massively overhauled and improved. Weapons are much more thematic now, meaning ice weapons literally do ice damage, and when you upgrade them, it adds more ice stats to them. And those bosses that are rocking really cool looking weapons, yeah, you can kill those bosses and get their weapons from them now. And if you played before, you were all too familiar with the problem of getting a low level version of a really awesome unique weapon. Well, now you can craft higher level versions of those weapons, so that when you find a unique item that fits your build perfectly, you can keep on enjoying it if you want to. Oh, and they also increased weapon durability, so you don't have to worry about it breaking so often, which is great because I'm not a fan of repairing armor in games. For me, it's like the gaming mechanic equivalent of having sand in your shoes. Fortunately, they added a menu option for people like me, and you can turn off weapon durability entirely, as well as a host of other features like turning off dropping items on death. So don't be afraid to play this game your way, because that's exactly what the developers want you to do. The next big update is don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps way more than you know. Thanks so much.
No, I don't think I will.
One of my favorite parts of this patch was the improvements to the mage build, because let's face it, typically in open world survival games, mages are rough. They're not usually very well fleshed out, and they're not usually very fun to play. And that's if they offer mage builds at all. Enshrouded, on the other hand, already had one of the best, if not the best, mage experience of any open world survival game, and they just made it better. While the mages felt amazing to play for some time now, it was hard to start your playthrough off as a mage because of the weapon and spell requirements that you needed to gather. Well, that's been fixed. Now you'll be able to craft your first staff and fire spell as soon as you get your first bones and resin, which you can do at the very beginning of the game, by the way.
But I like to play as warrior.
Don't worry, if you prefer playing melee or playing as a ranger, this game's skill tree lets you spec all the way into that, or any combination of the bunch to make a berserker, an archer, a battle mage, whatever you want. It's a fantastic skill tree, though I do still wish they would let me zoom further out on the skill tree and on the map in this game. They also reworked how regen works. Now you'll get a lot less passive health regen to start with.
But that's the only way I kill bosses.
Don't worry, you'll still be able to add loads of regen into your build using your gear, your food, and your skill points if you want to. And now for the most important part of this update, the water! So as you can imagine, adding water to a game where you can terraform just about anything, anywhere is a pretty big deal. You can dig massive holes and fill them with water, creating your own lake, or you can do the opposite and create a massive hole in the water, as I've elected to do here. Someone thought it would be a good idea to build a line in the desert. That's lame. So I built a line into the sea. I said, so I built a line into the sea. Oh yeah, I forgot you were down there. It's early days, but we're making progress. So if you're like me and you've got a few rather large questions, like what happens if you build your base underwater and then press this remove water button? Or how well do these drains work exactly? Do they stack? Like, can I put many of them in one place to suck amazing amounts of water? What happens if I put 2 of them at the bottom of a waterfall? What happens if I put 6 of them at the bottom of a lake? And can I put a door in front of that door, like an airlock in space, but underwater? Or a door to the water in the floor? And what happens if I just destroy all the walls holding back this sea of water? I have so many questions, I'm sure you do too, so let's find out. All right, first let's find out what happens when you place your altar of flame at the bottom of a lake and then tell it to remove all the water around it. So we're gonna swim down here to this altar of flame I put down here in preparation for this, and we're gonna tell it to remove all of the water. Confirm, and there you go. It does exactly what it says it's gonna do. It actually removes all of the water. So if you wanted to build a base underwater, you have a few seconds to do that. You can lay down some foundations, some walls really quick, and then you can interact with the shrine and remove the water again as soon as it starts overwhelming you. And you can build the base no problem that way. All right, so the next thing I was really curious about when I got into the game was these drains. You can put these down and it supposedly sucks water in when you do that. And my question was first, well, how powerful are they? Do they need any kind of drainage system, or can you just set them on the floor and they work? You know, and do they stack? Can you put loads of them in one spot? So I had enough materials to make 6 of them right now. So we'll go ahead and try everything from 1 to 6. So first, let's go ahead and test how powerful it is against this door, for instance, right? When we open this door without one here, very quickly overwhelms us. And it starts filling up the base. If we leave it open long enough, it's gonna go ahead and put a ton of water in here. So we're gonna close that. And now, let's try it with 1 drain. All right, so let's open the door now and see if we notice a difference. Yeah, the water's still coming in, but it's definitely coming in slower, for sure. So now let's try it with multiple drains. Add a second one here, and a third, and let's see how that feels. Okay, it's definitely stopping the water no, it's still leaking in. Okay, so let's try 4, 5, and 6. And that looks like it's actually containing all of the water. So it appears that they definitely do stack, right? Pick all of these up again. Now, the next question is, if they stack like that, then what's gonna happen if we put all of them at the bottom of a massive lake? So let's head on outside, close the door here, and go to work placing all of these grates on the bottom of the floor out here. Because if this works, that's kind of crazy, right? Like the physics that they've coded into this game, if this does something impressive. Oh, there goes my oxygen meter. I'm running out of breath. But oh, look, you can see the vortex coming down to the drain right now. Look at that. That is so cool that that actually works. Let's go ahead and catch our breath, eat some food that increases the duration of my breath meter, and let's head back out there and take a look at that. Go out here. And look. So with 6, the vortex just about makes it to the drain. I wonder if I had 8 or 10, you know, if we could get some more interesting interactions. Oh, look, we can stand here and breathe. Perfect. So now we know what it looks like from under the water. Let's see what it looks like up top. Look at that. You can see it up here. It's making a gigantic vortex. It's completely altering the entire lakescape. I guess you would call it the seascape here. It is completely altering it. They have done some incredibly impressive physics coding here for this water. I am just, so many things have been working that I wasn't expecting to work. Okay, so that settles the grates. It looks like they're incredibly powerful and they stack. Okay, so the next question was, can we build basically an airlock underwater? So it's a door into a room outside of the actual base so that you can safely get into your base without letting a ton of water in. So I built this room here with this door, and this is now full of water, which means I come in here, it will let some water in, but it's a finite amount of water. All right, so this is not too bad, but we could do one better if we wanted a true airlock here. Close the door and put a grate down. Now it'll drain and we won't have to let water in our base every time we want to go in if we have an underwater base or something. So one out here, let a bunch of water in, went back in, shut the door. The room does have water because we were out there for a while, but drain slowly drains it. Actually, it's pretty good pace. Our airlock is intact. And now we can safely walk into our base. That's pretty cool. Just the simple drain system in this game is enabling so many cool ideas. Just like I have so many ideas I want to enact here. And I don't have time to do all of them in this video, but I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Now, the antithesis of a drain is going to be what, a spout? So we've also got a water dispenser here, which you can use to put water. And just like the drains, the more you have, the more water it's going to make. So we put one here and it's putting a bit of water in here. And if we put, 10, you could do monstrous things. You could probably put 10 at the top of a hill and create your own waterfall. I mean, the options are literally limitless with this thing. Could you place a bunch of these atop of enemy outposts and wash them down? Like, what would happen there? How can you use them all to your advantage? Maybe use it to water crops, all kinds of stuff. Like, there's just so many cool things you could potentially do when you can summon water anywhere, drain water from anywhere. You can have a river in your base. So you just put a bunch of fountains on one end, have a moat, and then put a drain on the other end, and boom, you've got yourself like a little river. Now, another thing I wanted to test here was the physics in this game. So the water obviously is capable of falling down. Like, so if I remove one of these, the water's going to come in here. That's obvious. Close that back up. Stop the water. Okay. But what happens if there is water under this tile right here and I remove it? Will the water be smart enough to know that, gravity's pushing it down and it's going to come up here and it's going to want to equalize the height in here with what's out there, right? That's the way gravity and water work in real life. So let's see if it's smart enough to have the water come in here when I remove this tile. It should shoot up, right? Let's see. Oh, maybe there's something in the way. Maybe I have to smack some dirt out of the way here. Let's see if we can clear a path for the water. See if that fixes it. Oh, it's looking good. Hey, look at that. It's actually working. Holy cow. I was not expecting the physics to be nearly this good, especially right upon releasing this patch. Just imagine later on the kind of things we're going to be able to do in this game. This is brand new. Actually, I'm playing a pre-release version of it. I'm just so impressed right now with how well this water is working and how well it's running around this voxel world. This is fantastic. There are going to be so many amazing things that players do with this, and I can't wait to see it. All right, now let's close that hole up and let the water drain back down and move on to the next part of the video. All right, what did you think of the water update so far? Is there anything else you think I should try with water? Or perhaps you want to try it yourself? Don't forget there's a link to Enshrouded Steam page in the description for your convenience. This really is a game that keeps getting better. It's kind of crazy that all of this has been added to a game that humbly calls itself early access while having more content and fewer bugs than most AAA game releases today. So shout out to King Games, a studio that creates games because they love them, not to extract all of your money. This is a buy-to-play game with no cash shop, no microtransactions, and man, is that a rare find these days. I'm Lucky Ghost. I cover games like these all the time, so hit that like and subscribe button for more quality gaming content, and so other people have a chance to watch this video. Happy gaming, and I hope to see you in the next video. Ask them to add microtransactions. If you're not sure what to do next, check out these awesome videos popping up on screen right now. Thanks for watching. Massive shout out to my channel members. To become a channel member, hit the join button down below or click the link in the description.